Hey, how's it going everyone? It's Daikin here, and I want to bring y'all another Honkai video, but this time a little bit different. I've been sometimes getting questions lately about making a Honkai video guide, and I personally don't think I'm qualified for that since I am also a beginner at this game. However, a video that I did think I could make, that I wanted to make actually for a while, is 5 things that I wish I knew before I started Honkai Impact. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to talk about my top 5 things I wish I knew before I started the game. Also, quick guys, if you do like my content, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button and leave some comments down below of what you think or any other type of videos you want to see. It greatly helps me out and gets more people to see these videos. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. First up on the list is how to test out your Valkyries. So there is the tutorial section in this game, which is pretty good at showing you certain things. However, for the tutorials for characters, there seems to be only the base roster of the game that has combo actions and actually character stages, tutorial stages that can be used to try to learn some things about the Valkyries. Once you start getting into the other units, it seems like they stop doing it altogether. And I know you can use the sim battle to test out either units you don't have, but if you want to test out some units you have and you would just want to dive into their mechanics, I found that the best way to possibly do this is through the VR. You could go in there completely free and you could actually learn the mechanics of the characters. This is actually how I learned a lot of things about the characters, like FS for example. I didn't know that she had mechanics where you had to delay your buttons, so it definitely helped me out learn stuff like that. The second thing I wish I knew is that you can actually confirm your dailies too early. When you look at your dailies, you can see how much reward you're going to get through doing certain missions. However, it's not actually told to you that if you confirm it too early, then you actually lock it out for the day and it just says done. So you actually can't go back and complete the other. So if you complete it for doing 1 when it has the reward for doing 3, then you'll get the 1 reward and you won't get the reward for the other, which can mess you up as far as getting the most out of that 1 mission. So I wish that was actually taught to me from the game, that that's actually could be a thing, that you could confirm your dailies too early. The third thing I wish I knew, I already mentioned briefly, was skill tutorials. I didn't know actually skill tutorials were actually in the game. However, they did show off that combo attacks were in the game when you're doing the tutorial with Kiana, with White Kami Kiana. However, I actually didn't know that you can actually go and actually look more in depth about the moves. However, once again, the real problem lies that this isn't something that is actually done for every unit. So when you get other units and you want to know more about them, all you really have to go on is how their skills are and stuff like that. You don't really have the skill tutorial thing, which is really helpful, and I think is actually laid out pretty well along with a visual presentation. I think the visual presentation of what's actually happening is the thing that actually makes it a lot more identifiable in that case. I also come from a fighting game background, and that's actually something that they're rolling out as well inside of certain fighting games, is they're having visual presentation along with the moves, the special moves, so you know exactly that you're doing the right thing when it comes to doing the execution of said move for the character. But this is also a testament to why I like using the open world to basically test out my characters inside the game, and that's because you can actually pull up the input list and actually see what the characters can do, but it actually doesn't show you everything. Like for example, using FS again, it shows she can do a combo called Fire Wind after doing 3 attacks and then inputting and holding the last button. However, this is not the only time you can actually get this attack. You can get it from doing the natural hold and then you can see the circle, or you can just press the button 1 time and you can also see the circle. There's multiple ways to get that circle to actually happen, and you wouldn't actually understand or learn this if you actually don't just try out the character for yourselves and see exactly all the mechanics that they have to offer. It shows you the base, but it also don't show you all the techniques that the character can actually implement, and that's why I think having a training room aspect is very important. So using the open world has been helping me out tremendously as far as deeply learning how my Valkyries work. And the fourth thing on my list is I actually don't believe the game showed off the difference between elemental and physical damage really. I know it showed off the different types as far as psychic, mecha, and bio, but it didn't really go inside of elemental versus physical damage. And I think that's very important because there's some things that I just didn't know as far as elemental damage just going through shields rather than breaking shields, and physical damage being more better at breaking shields than elementals. That's something that I think is very important and should definitely be explained to newer players to the game. It can also go a little bit more in depth when it comes to the artifacts, because some of the artifacts do certain multipliers to damage, but that actually only works to certain types of the damage. Like, it only works to the physical damage for certain multipliers, but it isn't really actually explained very well that that is the case. So you could be making a huge mistake by putting certain artifacts on your characters that don't even do anything because they're elemental damage. And once again, I think that's also something that should be explained within the game. And the final thing that I wish I knew before I started Honkai Impact has nothing to do with the mechanics at all. It's simply about the lore. Now, I heard that the mobile version actually has a Kiana video that plays as you're downloading the game, but that doesn't exist for the PC version. Rather than the Kiana video though, I wish that they put the introduction video that's on their YouTube page on the game while it's downloading, or at least it plays after the game downloads, so you know exactly what you're jumping into, because it loops everything around. It tells you some pre-existing lore and it loops you back to present day, so you got a little bit of glimpse of what's actually happening. Because without that actual explanation of these factions and the history of the Honkai and all that stuff, it just becomes a little bit confusing at the beginning. You have no idea what's happening. You're just thrown in and you meet these characters and you have no idea what's happening. And it's just very confusing. Once I watched that video, I understood so much more. So I think that video is actually very crucial for new players to actually understand the story. Obviously, it should be skippable for people who don't care about the lore, but for people who, want to get deep inside the story, I think that's something very important that should just be implemented into the game, because it's so important for understanding the basics of this Honkai universe. And that's it. Like I said, I don't think I'm really qualified to do a guide, but I did want to do a video of things personally that I wish I knew before I played this game, because there's just certain things that I didn't know or weren't explained very well within the game itself. Now, of course, the community have a lot of documents and stuff that explain so many things, and that's actually how I learned about elemental versus physical damage and other aspects. But some of the stuff should just be inside of the game, I feel like, and so that's why I want to address it now. But anyway, if you like anything I had to say, drop me a like. I greatly appreciate it. And if you want to hear more from me, follow me on my socials. Also, guys, let me know if there's any things that you wish you knew before you started the game, or things that you think I should know as well that I probably didn't bring up in this video. I would definitely like to hear that. Anyway, as I was saying, also, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you know the next video goes live. As always, my name is Daikin, and I'll see y'all next time. Signing out.